Hello and welcome back to Back with a Bang. It's been a long time. We're with co-host now, new co-host, regular co-host, Joe McGlade. Joe, how you doing, mate?
Not too bad. Thanks for making me a co-host now. Pretty exciting.
No problem, mate. So, this is going to be a sort of a regular thing now. We're going to be doing podcasts every week, talking about what's going on and stuff like that. So we're just getting the first one out of the way this week. Plenty to talk about, Joe. First of all,
Yeah.
we'll talk about you a little bit. So, first of all, tell people a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a level 3 journalist, same as Charlie. I intend to go to uni as well. My favourite style of journalism, sport. I like doing reviews though, so like game reviews, movie reviews. But I'd say sports my main category I'd like to continue working in.
Yeah, and obviously you've sort of started this now basketball sort of thing on Spy
Yeah,
Media as well. Interviewing the first one last week, Jonathan Noel. Talk to me a little bit about that American guy, highly well known in the NCAA division in college
yeah.
basketball. So talk to me about that.
He was such a nice guy. He gave right in detailed answers. Like he's a right down to earth guy. He knows what he wants to do in life. Like he's got it all sorted out. He was just a nice guy to talk to. He could talk along with him. Very nice.
I mean, there's something special, isn't there, about to speaking to American people in general because they just got such a story,
Yeah,
haven't they?
yeah. Because like we obviously there's a language barrier. We've got different worded phrases. Like I said football. I had to refer it to soccer because I kept forgetting, and he kept doing the same. I think he said he played soccer as well a bit, so that were pretty cool. He didn't know where I was from, obviously. I'm surprised he didn't say London like all Americans do, but it was cool talking to an American.
Yeah, and it's such a massive contrast when you look at he was telling about his state finals and stuff, saying that championship
Yeah,
finals are like 230 people, 200 to like 300 people, and then you look at England and you were saying like there's barely anyone shows up, so it's just a massive contrast, isn't it, in sort of how
yeah.
they take sports over there.
Even the pickup games where you just in the neighborhood or on a basketball court, he said there was like 100. There's usually like 150 people there, just sat watching. There'll be like 8 teams waiting to come on. That's impressive. That'd be amazing to be into that.
Yeah, definitely 100%, and obviously the NBA draft coming up, so that'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see if he gets sort of
yeah. It would to be
drafted for that,
fair,
mate.
would be amazing to see that.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously now the NBA season started. I'm an NBA fan. No, I'm not sure. I watched a little bit, but Golden State is struggling, aren't they? I mean, well,
Yeah,
they had a
yeah.
tough start.
They picked it up a bit now because Steph Curry's dropping like 30 points a game. I think last night he had three men on him all time and he still dropped 38 points. I think they're 5-4 now, so it's not too bad to be fair. They're picking it up.
Yeah, it's good.
They've just got to keep Steph going.
You was talking about it as well with me. Like the bubble's been like really well managed, hasn't it? There's like zero positive
Yeah,
tests or something like that.
yeah, that were amazing. I couldn't believe it. Like I think Russell Westbrook got it, but he stayed out and then he came in. A player got banned for like bringing a woman in, so he got banned. He got kicked out in bubble, but they just got tested every day. There were YouTube videos. 2 YouTubers did it. How they did the food, how they had to get tested. They had bands on to tell them when they left and that. Like I think it's coming back. I seen it earlier that there's a bubble in Disneyland in February now, but I don't know
Oh
how
wow.
that's gonna work. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's all going to come down to bubbles. This COVID-19. I think it's all going to come down to certain bubbles and stuff. That's how we're going to get
Scott Tim.
things back. Just one question I want to ask because you're a basketball fan. Um,
Yeah.
NBA is obviously massive. Basketball, just in general, is massive in America, and a lot of fans go to a lot of games, sort of that. Why do you
Yeah.
think it's so different in England? Because like the Sheffield Sharks, I'd never heard of them before until we was offered an
Uh,
opportunity with them.
and I never knew much different teams, but I think it's because in America a lot of their like they've got a lot of courts, aren't they? So like I read somewhere someone said that it's because we play most of our sports on grass, like football, rugby, cricket, all that, and then obviously they play basketball in courts and that. They don't really play it outside. Well, obviously teams, but they'll play pickup games outside and that. And NFL's played on grass and that, but I'm not too sure. I wish it'd be kind of big. I think it's the third most popular sport in the world because it's massive in China. Japan, it's big. So it's like in them countries, it's massive.
Yeah, definitely. And you obviously mentioned earlier as well with the university wanting to go there. So, just what sort of universities have you drafted so far, and what sort of courses are you looking at, mate?
But I've got Leicester University, I've got Hallam University, I've looked at Liverpool. These are all for sports journalism or media, like media, just doing that. And Bournemouth I looked at. I think I've got to find one more, but I'm not too sure which one yet. I've got till the end of this month now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You got a deadline, extra deadline for it with everything that's slowing down with lockdown and stuff like that. So that's pretty
So
cool.
I can talk it out with my mom and dad and everything, see what they're saying.
So just generally as like your career, just looking past you, I know you don't look too far past obviously your life and stuff, but as this basketball journey continues, is this something you want to go down? Is this so if I offered you now, you can cover the NBA in America for a couple of years?
Oh yeah,
or
definitely.
You can cover Manchester United. Which one are you taking?
Probably Manchester United because it's my favourite team ever. It'd have to be Man United, but that'd be an opportunity I couldn't miss. Even living in America, but Manchester United all day.
So if it came out of football and basketball, you think you'd probably choose football closely?
Yeah, definitely. Especially if it were a big team like Manchester United, I definitely would.
What about Liverpool?
Nah,
we're not
no
making
chance.
the Liverpool. Yeah, fair enough.
I've got dignity. I can't do that.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that would be pretty cool. Though, wouldn't it, working in America doing the NBA games?
Oh yeah, definitely, because they have massive media days, don't they? Like they'll have like media days, so players will sit in front of journalists. They'll talk to them. They do it for the NFL as well. Like that'd be pretty good if we did that here as well. Like that sort of media day.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Like, so let's get more coverage on the game around here. It'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it's good sport. It just needs coverage on it. To be honest, I was thinking about doing something with the Sheffield Sharks. But obviously, we can't do it at the minute because of the COVID-19 restrictions.
Lockdown.
But at some point, it would be interesting to do something like that. I just wanted to mention, like with like you going down this journalism route. What avenue do you think you are best at? So is it the writing side? Is it the video side? Is it the TV presenting? Would you say just interviews in general?
TV presenting. I did that in college a bit. I said I think I was okay. I like interviewing people. I think that I'm pretty good at talking to people, so I like that. The writing, I need improvement on, but I'd say just like the presenting or interviewing people, that's probably my strong point.
It's always been a knack for you, because I can tell, like when we even did that first podcast when we did about the TV sitcoms and stuff, and I could just tell you was comfortable in front of the camera. Is that something you've always just had? Because like even when we're streaming, like there's no nerves from you. Like we're streaming the day, like we're just chilling. Do you know what I mean? So is that something you've always had a knack for?
I'd say so. Yeah, like I'd say I used to be kind of nervous, but now I'm just kind of used to talking to people or anything like that. I'd say I'm a bit more confident of just talking.
It's one of those things, isn't it? The more you do it, the more you get used to it, sort of thing.
Yeah. It's like with that interview the other day, that I'm pretty confident now talking to people, because last year I talked to a couple, didn't I? But like that one, plus they were nice. It makes it easier when people are good to talk to as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, was there any nerves? Because I know when I'm interviewing, like I am absolutely panic attacking, petrifying the lot. Like, everything's going in my mind, anxiety galore, mate. Like no joke. Even I've interviewed Teddy Stringer, I've interviewed like 3 or 4 times. Like, even though I know it's gonna be a good interview, I know we're sound and everything, but before that, I'm absolutely bricking it. I don't know. It's one of those things I've got a fear of. It's awkward silence.
Yeah. I feel like I have to talk when it's awkward. Like I always say if no one's talking, I feel like I have to say something. I feel like it's like every time, even though you've been on a roller coaster once and you go on it straight after, you're still a bit nervous. Like it's like kind of like that interviewing people. You're always going to have that bit of nerves no matter what.
Like I said, like you said, it makes it nice when like a guy like Jonathan is there and he's talkative and he wants to know how you are, and he sort of gives you conversation. Because I think that was probably his first interview, and he was a good talker, wasn't he? He wasn't like a short talker. He was a very good talker. Yeah,
he was like prepared, weren't he? Like he just give in-depth answers, which I didn't expect really, but that were impressive.
Are they on lockdown over there and then in America?
It's tough because it's the governors in it what are controlling it, so I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about that at all.
What did he mention anything about the restrictions over there? Because obviously it's a lot different where we are, but did he talk about what the restrictions are like?
A bit, yeah. He was talking about like it's not much difference because sometimes there won't be fans at college games, so he says it weren't much difference, but when there's a massive impact on the game. So he said that were kind of strange not having fans there all the time, and he says all the time he had off, he just kept his mind like clean, just played basketball and carried on.
That's pretty cool. Like, we'll move on from that, but yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the sort of a basketball interview and the Jonathan Notes. It's a different experience, isn't it? Interviewing it's easy interviewing English guys, but when you interview like American guys, like you said, it's that language barrier, and it's just getting used to how they speak and that. Like, I know I would have been absolutely bricking it. So fair play on that one, mate. It's a good interview. Yeah. But anyway, we'll move on to the lockdown now. So obviously Boris Johnson, I can't remember, a few days ago now, I can't remember the exact day. I struggled to follow it all really, but he obviously announced a new lockdown. I disagree. I don't think we need a lockdown again. I know you have different views on it than I do, but I don't think we need a lockdown again. Just tell me, first of all, tell me your views and I'll just jump in on it, really.
It's just boring now. Like, it was gone in August, weren't it? Like, the cases, but they were like, what, like, I don't know, like 200 a week or something, not even that. Like, the cases were gone. And then all of a sudden in September, when he opened school, colleges, unis, he opened everything back up too soon. And look what happened. Like, he should have shut it down again, or I think a bit earlier, because we might not be in this case now if he shut it back down in October.
Yeah. Well, the thing with me is I just think he's just killing it. He's just killing the economy. And I know I don't think all these deaths are coming from COVID. I don't believe that all these deaths are COVID related. And people could tell me how many I'll fill these hospitals out a lot. But I know that I've had friends that have gone in hospitals recently and they said they've been deserted. Like, especially the Royal Hospital in Chesterfield, and they've been deserted. Like, people are saying that it's been packed, but one security guard on shift, and this is from a person I spoke to yesterday and told me this himself. One person on shift, security guard, more or less asleep, and he didn't have to wear a mask. And and it was a deserted place. So that's like that's how I struggle to buy it, sort of thing, because when I'm hearing things like that, when I also seen it in St. Thomas's Hospital where the videos are being taken and you see that there's not actually that full. People are going inside and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not buying all this COVID deaths and all these high numbers that are being thrown at us. I think
I agree with you on that.
Apparently, there's been 0 flu deaths this year. We haven't cured the flu.
There's only like 850,000 a year in the flu deaths. I think
we haven't cured the flu. I'm not buying that for a second. We're not cured the flu.
That's what I mean.
A lot of these are severe flu deaths.
It's bad. Yeah.
In my opinion, it's a severe flu. That's my view on it. It's a severe flu that old people are getting, and it's doing what underlying illnesses that people are getting. It's a severe flu, but for the majority, they're okay. And I don't think a lot of these deaths coming from, because if you've seen that small print where we talked about it in class yesterday, but everyone's like, "Well, you're not going to get hit by a bus," but it says if you've had COVID within 20 and you die within 28 days, that's put down to COVID. Even if you die of a bus accident, say you've had COVID, you get hit by a bus a week later or something like that, and then it's put down to COVID. That's where it's wrong. I'm not saying you're going to get hit by a bus, but there's other ways you can die. There's other ways people die every day. There's other ways you can die. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I'm not buying this COVID-19. And apparently I had this stat as well where I was spoke to about a friend as well who's done a lot of research on this vaccines and hospitals. When they put a COVID death down, when they put a COVID patient down, put them down for COVID in the hospital, if they cure that patient and the patient survives, they get a bonus.
Oh, really?
People at the hospital, they get a bonus. Nurses,
Wow.
And this is the research one of my friends has done. I don't want to name in case it's not fully incorrect. I'm not saying it's 100% correct, but that's what I've been told. And it does sound, when you're hearing about, because I've seen a lot of stories about care homes where an old woman has died of like dementia, stuff like that. And they've put it down as COVID death. And people have been suing and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I'm making up. There's been cases where they've been putting down deaths of COVID, like where it's not happening. So that's what I don't like. Because I know for a fact if I went in the hospital now and I'm ill, but no COVID symptoms, they will put me down for COVID 100% because they cure me. Their bonus is in their pocket.
Yeah.
And listen, there's been NHS workers as well. I know you've seen it yourself, where they've come out and said, like, this is wrong. You're being lied to. And there was a video in Liverpool of an NHS nurse who quit a job, and she was on the streets like talking about how they're lying to people and stuff about the death and stuff.
Oh wow!
If you're in the hospital, you're not going to come out and tell people, it's not really that bad. Like we're just like doing it for the sake, doing it for the money, sort of thing. Because there's no way they're allowed to go out NHS nurses and say, oh, it's not as bad as they think it is.
Well, yeah, like they can't do that because it's just going to change people's opinions, innit, on it. But I agree with you. I think I think a lot are just deaths and they're just putting it down as COVID. There can't be that many.
And you've got to think as well with this period of lockdown and stuff. I know I'm pretty mentally strong, but that's not the case for a lot of other people. Like a lot of people do struggle with mental health. Mental health's a real stigma, and this is what's being really abandoned. And there's no support for these people that are really struggling with mental health. There's no support for these people because it's not fair. It's not fair. They're sort of vice is going out and having a good time and going for something to eat, meeting their friends, going to the gym. They're not even allowed to do that. They're stuck in the house. Like, it's okay doing Zoom meetings like this, but it's not the same as face to face.
It's not the same, nah.
Nowhere near the same.
I didn't go out. I did go out, but like not as much as like what some people do. But even for me, like this is just boring. It's crap weather. You can't do out. You just sat inside. It's just boring, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can't even know what else to say.
You can't sit on the console. Like we go on at night for a few hours, like us lot, but you can't sit on the console all day because you're gonna drive through your bloody mind. And by the end of that, you've played everything. And
TV, I can't sit and watch that all day either. It's just
exactly like Netflix is good,
much.
but you can't sit there all day and watch it. And even if you do, then at the end of the day, you feel so shit about yourself. I know I do when I sat at TV all day. And I watch something, and I've not done anything. I feel so shit. Like, what the fuck have I just done? Because
100%, yeah.
I've just wasted a whole day watching TV, and that's how people. That's how people were feeling, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'll watch like a few episodes of anime, and I'll just like, oh, this is just too boring now. I don't know what else to do. You just kind of down for like a couple of minutes, like an hour or so, because you're bored. You've just sat and watched TV all day. You don't know what else to do. It's just boring.
I mean, and as well at this period, like, for me, if I was like really struggling with mental health, like a lot of people do, like, I would really be struggling right now because there's no UFC on for me at the weekend, so I've got nothing to look forward to in the week. No interviews to watch. Like football, I'm not too interested in a minute. It doesn't interest me with fans. Like Chesterfield, I'm following the results, but I can't afford to keep paying £10 a game every game. Like, I'm not made of money sort of thing. That adds up to £460 a year. A season when you've done like that, and I could get a season ticket for that for less than less than that, like fucking nearly like 1% of that, like £60 my season ticket just for cost me. So I'm not going to come to start paying £460 a season for games. Like, I love Chesterfield FC to bits, but I'll just listen to commentary of it if that's the case. Like, I'm not doing it sort of thing. So listen, if I was struggling with mental health now, I would be struggling because there's nothing on at the minute. It's that period after Christmas now. It's the worst times a lot of people love after Christmas. So that's straight away because nothing's on. Every sport's just getting back to it. Like, you're lucky with the NBA because NBA's got cracking with it, didn't they? They got cracking. So basketball fans,
I've got loads of games.
They're buzzing. So ice hockey fans, if that's coming back on the 13th of Jan, so I'm happy about that because I'm getting into that now, NHL.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that's pretty cool. But if you're a fight fan, football fan, then it's not much to it going on because the football's not like that. There's not doing it for me at the minute. When I'm watching the football, it's not that same vibe. It needs fans. I know they can't be fans, but it needs fans.
Fans, big time.
Obviously,
when you score a 90th minute goal or something, and it's just not the same at all.
Exactly. And that game yesterday, if you've seen that young lad for Aston Villa, scored against Liverpool, that Louis Barry. He actually went to Barcelona before, you know. He actually started at West Brom Academy. Yeah, I've been following him for a while, that Louis Barry. I think I've got his email or something because I tried to get an interview once. But he started at West Brom Academy. I think I'm not 200% West Brom or Birmingham, but he started at West Brom Academy, then went to Barcelona for a couple of years.
Oh wow!
Then he came back obviously to Aston Villa, so he's had a pretty storied career. So yesterday, if he just scored yesterday in front of fans, I know we lost 4-1, but he's an hometown kid. Everyone was going like crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
everyone would have been gassing him up. That'd have been very good.
Think about the moment he's been robbed of there. Do you know what I mean? I know there's nothing we can do about it, but that's the moment he's been sort of robbed of.
Yeah, well, he has. I seen something last night, and he swapped his football shirt for Fabinho, and then one coach says, "Which idiot swaps his debut jersey?" So we went down and chased Fabinho and got it back.
Oh yeah, see, he got 2 shirts as well after that. He got Fabinho. He got to keep Fabinho's and himself, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty class, man. Fabinho, yeah.
I do the same if I get a bloody Liverpool player shirt. You know, we'll sell it for a few quid. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Get a bit 100%. For that. Another thing as well with this lockdown is it's affecting now schoolwork because we're seeing exams are cancelled, and I know it's all right to say, they're lucky for them, but this is like what that students have been working for now.
Yeah,
5 years. I know obviously a lot of people, including myself, I'll admit, when I went to school, just about for the first 3 years, took the last 2 years. Well, the last year I took really, really seriously. I was immature when I was a lot younger, so. But the year before, at year 10, like I sort of kicked in, but I was just cruising on whatever gear you call it. So I was just cruising really in the year 10. But year 11, I really knuckled down and got my grades. But I know a lot of people that aren't me, and they'll wait 5
Yeah, I
years
was
for
just about
this.
to say, yeah.
And really
But like,
grafted it
there might
out.
be someone who's maybe like you just said, he's like really cracked on. He's not being predicted best grades. Say he's cracked on in year 10 and year 11. He's made massive improvements, but he hasn't got his grades changed. So he could be like, I don't know, doing very well now, but his exams are going to be his predicted grades before. So like he could get bad grades even though he's made massive improvements, which will be tough.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point actually, because like I like when I went to school, like the stuff I learned in year 7, 8, and 9, don't think I used that much in year 10 and 11. Like I didn't.
I remember it. Yeah.
Like, the stuff I learned in year 10, 11, that's what I needed the exam. But the stuff I learned in year 7, 8, and 9, like listen, I didn't learn anything in year 7, 8, and 9. Barely anything. Yeah. Like, because not on purpose. I was always messing about, doing like naughty and stuff like that, and just getting into trouble and stuff. Nothing that just really disrupting lesson. That was a big thing for me back in the day. But I didn't learn anything, and I still did really well on my exams. For me, I would say, for my abilities back then, like I only failed like one subject, which was science, and I didn't really like science anyway. I didn't revise for it.
Yeah.
I didn't revise for that. I did. So what I did with my GCSEs is, I'll see what you did in a minute, but what I did was, in like year 11, I was on like a 2 in maths. I was just doing awful, and I thought, I can't be bothered to do this in college, So I stayed after school every day at maths. Yeah. After school every day maths for 2 hours. I'm a teacher. And at lunch I used to go for maths. I used to do 2 past papers every night, and I got a 5 in maths at the end of it in the exams, which was pretty cool, because that's something I always just struggled with. I just really grafted it out. That's what I'm saying. That people haven't got the opportunity now to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, I don't know what was your sort of thing like with exams. What was your sort of experience like?
Well, like I just revised every day. I didn't get best of grades, to be fair. Like geography, I did entry level all my life, and then my teacher decided in year 11 we've got to cram 3 years of GCSE into 1 year. So like that wasn't great. Science, I wasn't too bothered about because I'm not going to be a scientist. I did like biology though. Maths, I'm still working on that. I struggle with that the most. I got a D in English, and then in my second year in college, I got a 5 in that. And then it's about it. I just revised, but I didn't get the best grades. I just kept revising, and I'll just have to keep trying for maths now.
Yeah, they are tough exams, especially maths. Like maths is like as much as I revised, like I did really well on my exams. Like I thought it was pretty easy when I did them because I worked so hard. But still, it's just one of them things where they really, really are, because of the trick questions in the papers. Like learning maths is pretty easy, but it's the exam papers themselves that are hard. The trick questions.
There's so much writing. Yeah, there's so much writing. You've got to it's just I hate maths.
Yeah, listen, it's one of the things. I never touched maths again since I passed it. I never looked at it once. Like when Harry asked me to do his help him with maths, don't get me involved in that again. I don't want to know about it. Like, I loved it towards the end of year 11 because I was sick at it. I was becoming really good at it.
Yeah.
But after I passed it, I was like, I hate that subject. Do not give me that subject ever again, because that's why I did it. I didn't want to do that maths ever again. But I'm happy I've got it. So, like I say, just keep working towards it. But you need it, but you just need your basic math skills in life, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. You don't need algebra. You don't need like, I don't know, I said Dave needs his fence painting or something. I'm not going to be doing that. You know what I mean? Like so much centimeters. I'm not too fussed about that. I'll just Google all that.
And at the end of the day, if you're good enough for your job and you've got enough experience and you really stand out, you'll get the opportunity, you'll get the job, whatever it is, you'll get that stuff, because you stand out. Like a maths exam is not going to hold you back from going to a university or getting a job. If you're good enough, they think you're the right candidate, they'll pick you no matter what. Like you could have no grades, and if you're still the right man for the job, and they think that's the one they want, they're taking you all day long.
Yeah.
But what I would say is this is a good point for you now, where you've just started to get into the podcast and the basketball show obviously coming up now. Is universities, and I know from my interviews that when I've done my interviews, university interviews, I've just done one with Central Lancashire, done that one.
Oh yeah.
The University School of Journalism. I think I told you this anyway, haven't I? But
I think you did.
I've just done 2 interviews. Yeah, I've just done 2 interviews, and I've got offers, from them too. So Central Lancashire and School of Journalism, and I got offers from Brighton and Bournemouth without having to do interviews, which was pretty cool. So obviously Bournemouth's my first choice. I've just got an interview in Northampton 11 days. So, but in
Oh
those
wow, so it's
interviews,
all coming up, Charlie.
like they wasn't looking at my grades when I was talking to them. They was looking at the Spy Media, the Spy Radio. They was really asking questions about the interviews, Gary Neville's and people like that. Just they want to know about what stands out more to me is experience. So when now you've got till the 29th, this is 20 days now. We'll probably get, I would say, 3 or 4 more podcasts in by then. They're on the YouTube channel. This is on your personal statement you can put on as well that you're doing Spy Media.
Oh, yeah.
This is experience now for you where when you do an interview, this is something you've done. You've done a podcast weekly. You've interviewed players abroad. You're comfortable interviewing people. That's going to stand out instead of so that they'll probably look twice at the maths GCSE or other things like that. Because listen, if I'm looking at someone, when we employ people with Spy Media, I don't care like if you've got like all great grades or anything like that. If you're good, if you've got a passion for interviewing, you've got that passion of doing journalism, volunteer. That's what stands out to employers. That's what interviews are telling me is showing evidence of passion for your subject.
It should always be like that in life. Anyway, obviously some grades matter, but like it should just always be like experience, what you can do and everything. And this is like a bit off topic, but Bill Gates once said, "I'd always pick a lazy guy to do the work because he'd find the easiest way to do it." I don't know if that's true, but that's a good quote.
That is a pretty smart thing out of it. To be fair, I like that quote. I should have a look at that. But like I say, that's what I'm saying. Like, just get what stands out more is people that are willing to do the job for free. So you're never gonna work for free, but doing it when you're obviously not getting paid like that. This podcast, we're not getting paid for this. You know what I mean? It's just doing it for the fun of it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what stands out to people. Really employers sort of
experience. Just experience.
But yeah,
that's all what matters.
By the time of 29th of January, mate, you'll hopefully have all this on your personal statement, and you'll be ready for your university things.
Have it on my website and that, hopefully.
Definitely. Right, we'll move on now, mate, because a great TV show came out on New Year's Day, and it really set the world.
I know one of your favourites.
Set the world on fire. One of my favourites. I'm wearing a Cobra Kai even hoodie here.
Yeah.
One of my favourites TV shows of all time has become now. The way they've just done it, it's just so amazing. Like it's getting to the point where it's getting closer to Prison Break, mate. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like,
oh wow.
It's just the way they're doing it. It's such like when it first came out. When I first heard about it, my friend Jack Dooley, he said like, watch it. It's Karate Kid remake. Karate Kid like. What is it, like a revamped sort of spin-off? Sequel sort of thing, And I thought, it's been nostalgia grabbing me, rubbish. And I watched it and I was just hooked, mate. Hooked. It's just amazing. Like, the way they've done it is amazing. And this season 3 did not disappoint. We'll go from the start, really. At the start, so obviously, you get Johnny gets to the fight. This is how it's always been at the start of every season, isn't it? But Johnny gets to the fight and he always ends up beaten up.
Oh, yeah, it is, to be fair. I never realised that. Yeah, it is. Outside the market and that shop, he gets into a scrap with them lads.
Literally every fight, every start of every season, he's always been drunk. Always in a fight. So we start off obviously with a Miguel Diaz recovery. That starts pretty soon. So he's in the. I think it would have been nice if he didn't. Actually, no, it probably would have been. I'm glad they spoiled that he was still alive. To be fair, because I think a lot of people were scared that he was going to die. So. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad the spoiler were probably still alive. That was pretty cool. But spoiler. Anyone watching this who hasn't watched Cobra Kai, we are going to talk about spoilers in this. So I
need to watch it.
Probably should have said that at the start. You do need to watch it. It's sick. So Miguel Diaz at the start recovered quite quickly. I thought. Did you?
I did. But yeah. Because like they could have said like it's been a couple of months. You know what I mean? Because now that seems like it's been a couple of days since he had his surgery. To me, like it seems like it's been a couple of days since. He got that surgery. He was like meant to be nearly paralyzed, but then he's like back to fighting and that. I thought that was my only problem. Like that's a bit too unrealistic. Like that part.
I think it's set in weeks or months. To be fair, each episode. I think each episode is like a week after. Like so, it's set like a week after sort of thing. Yeah. That's what I think. I don't think it's set like day after. I think it's set like weeks after. So I think it's set 7. He started like walking properly again. So I would say it took him about 2 months to get walking.
It makes more sense.
He obviously had surgery, didn't he? So as well, so that would have helped it. But I like the way they did it. Do you know how it wasn't like, I'm glad that when he got set on fire that he didn't start moving his leg. It was just like, and it's sort of the way that it probably would work. You know, he's at the rock concert and you obviously just you've got that movement
unconsciously,
and you're just doing it.
You don't realize
unconsciously your brain is doing that because you're not thinking about. I feel like when you think about it, you're not going to do it. because
Yeah,
your brain's
facts, yeah.
you're putting too much stress on your brain because you're thinking about that's what I think anyway. But when you're just doing it, you're just chilled, like relaxing. That foot movement comes. And I like
Even
how
if
they
you
did
don't
that with
like
the
the
rock thing.
music. Yeah, even if you don't like the music, like when my brother's listening to it, like my foot will just start moving. I don't even really like it, but my foot will just start moving. But he just does it.
It was a great moment as well when you're seeing it, and that relationship between Johnny and Miguel is like something special. Like, everyone loves it when them two
Yeah,
get screen
yeah.
time. Like it's
They
just
are class, to be fair.
it is amazing. Like
They remind me of another show, Stranger Things. Steve and Dustin, they're like a big brother relationship. It's that them two are like the fan favorites because of what they do. That's what them two remind me of.
definitely. And I've seen a video actually, a Cobra Kai review. I've been watching a couple of Cobra Kai reviews, see what people think and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was saying at some point, I think Miguel and Johnny will have that relationship of Chris and Johnny, where for a period of time that Miguel hates Johnny, which I hope they don't do. By the way, I think that's a bad idea.
Oh yeah,
that
that'd
relationship
just be
between
Robbie all over again, won't it?
yeah, that relationship between Johnny and Miguel needs to stay intact because that's one of the biggest. That's some of people's favorite scenes. Is that like
Yeah,
you can separate
it's one of
Hawk and
mine,
Dimitri
definitely.
all day and like Daniel and Johnny we can manage that, Johnny, because we know we can get thing. But Miguel and Johnny don't mess with that shit because that's sort of like one of the key things that people love about the show is that relationship between them two.
I do like Robbie. I feel like he's a good written character. He has the bad look. He's one of my favorite characters, Robbie.
Is it? See, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't. I think it just made me just like I didn't like the good Robbie last season either. I didn't. That's one of my least favorite characters. It's just annoying to me. Like, yeah,
one of my favorites, Dimitri.
I do like now he's a bad guy though. I like he's a bad guy now.
Oh yeah, be pretty cool. I mean, he got into a fight with Johnny, which were a cool fight. That entire ending fight were class.
Yeah, that is just what you want to see as like a big karate fan is that standoff between. I've always wanted to see John Kreese versus what they call him, Daniel's son, Daniel LaRusso.
Daniel's son, yeah.
I've always wanted to see that. So we'll get to that shortly, but obviously it's built up in different stages the season did. So we started with the recovery. And then obviously Daniel's business. I like how they worked it with Daniel's business. That he didn't go to Okinawa for some silly reason. That he didn't
Japan,
he went to Japan first, not even planning to go to Okinawa. But I like how they did that with the business because it is realistic. If like someone's karate student and have a business and they're promoting karate and they chop the competition or whatever, kick the competition, chopping down prices, and then your karate student kicks someone off a railing, like let's be honest, that is going to happen. It's going to your dealership's going to be a ghost town, and no one's going to tell us. I like
it's going to have a bad name. A bad rep.
One thing as well about this Cobra Kai season that I do really like is that we're not. It's not too unrealistic. Like there is points where it's a little bit unrealistic, like with the home invasion fight. Like that's a bit.
Yeah,
extreme,
that would be unrealistic.
But it's pretty. It is cool fights to watch. That's why
it would.
That's why they get away with it because everyone's like, they're so sick fights the way they've done it.
Yeah, that were good.
But I like how like when Miguel goes over there and like he's in. Like the news reporters are there. Like there's a meeting from school. Like it's not been like just completely avoided. Like the public, there would be like news conference. There would be like reports, and everything would kick off. And that's what's happened. I like how they did that. And the same with like I like Amanda, Danny's wife, where she's always like takes the mick out of the rivalry and stuff. Like have you heard about the combat Mortal Enemy Karate Dojo thing? Like she really brings out the humor and real side to it, which I think she's a great character.
She does, to be fair, she is.
But yeah, I liked how they did the Okinawa bit where he went to Ohana.
That were amazing.
And obviously then he realizes that bartender says you can still connect with him by going to Okinawa.
Yeah.
I think those love letters from Miyagi. Like that was a perfect writing sense from the writers doing that.
And then the letter to his
lover,
true love, and then he wrote about Daniel saying he's treated me like even Sam calls me grandfather and that like that were amazing from them.
Yeah, it was a great like the writers of this show were really good at like playing tribute to the original characters and really just paying homage and such a perfect mix of nostalgia and realism to it, which I think is brilliant. And then
because a lot of people love Mr. Miyagi, innit? Like he's like a lot of people say wax on, wax off, and that when you're doing something like it is an icon in like the movie history, and now they've like brought him back to help like to younger people. Like that's amazing what they've done.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously we get Daniel goes to Ohana, he goes to Okinawa, And then I think I love that link up between him and Kamiko. When he sees her, they do the flashback to Karate Kid.
Yeah.
I just love it when they do sort of something like that.
That
You know, when he
were
sees
amazing.
Chosen as well, and he goes Chosen, and he turns to him, and you see like Chosen from the Karate 2 of them like seeing it. It's just amazing how they did that. Like when Johnny and Daniel fight, you know, and they show as they're fighting, they show like the flashbacks of them fighting back in the day.
From the
Like that's another perfect way to do it. Like, and like I said to dinner, like the layout of the show would be like Daniel and Johnny, which they did at the start, linking up.
Yeah.
Then they wouldn't, and I think you expected as well that they'd probably break up at some point early in the season for them to get back together later in the season. Because obviously Daniel had to go to Okinawa and stuff, so it wouldn't work. But yeah, I like how they did the thing with Chosen, getting retribution for him as well.
The old training and that, and all the training he did and taught Daniel new moves. Like, that were an amazing scene. He was a good character.
Oh yeah, definitely, mate. And like the Miyagi secret as well, like that was good because I was scared they were going to do something too extreme, like say, oh, he's someone's kid or he's someone's dad or something like that. I didn't want to see that because I'm glad that it was like it was realistic. That is real. Like you can't expect like there was a second rule of karate. Remember in the films where he says 2 rules of Miyagi-Do karate. Rule 1, karate is defense only, and then Danielson goes
rule 2, like
number 2. First, you must master rule 1.
Yeah,
that one. And he said that to his daughter Sam, but Daniel obviously didn't know the second rule of the Miyagi-Do karate. So that I think that was a perfect, and it's realistic as well. Like you can obviously, it's sort of like realistic because we know that Miyagi's family was war veterans and stuff like that. So it was a perfect mix, really. And that pressure point, I don't think Daniel will teach that actually. To be fair,
nah, I think he's got to keep that for himself because it's a cool move. Well, it's like dangerous, isn't it? Like it's like
he can kill people.
I thought at first it dislocated his arm. I was like, that would pretty wild, but it's like his pressure point. It's like your body stops moving.
Yeah, a lot of people think, he's going to teach it to the kids, but I don't think so because if Miyagi didn't teach him, he's not going to teach it to the kids. Like
exactly.
Like Spider-Man said, with great power comes great responsibility, and spreading that power to kids is not a good idea because they're not killing each other, sort of thing.
Look, that's what happened with karate, exactly.
So you don't want that. So I think what will happen with the team, we'll get onto the end in a minute. So I want to skip to so much bits, but you got to make sure we do it in like sort of structure to it. But but yeah, he gets to Okinawa. Obviously, he learns the new rules of karate, then he comes back. And I think at this point, Sam's got PTSD, actually, from this whole attack thing.
Yeah, she has, 100%. She's panicking all the time, isn't she? Every time she thinks of Tara, she's like, she's panicking. She's having panic attacks. She don't want to go outside. Like that was good from them.
Again, another realistic trait of how...
From a teenager as well.
If you was attacked by a woman, and you know how dangerous she is, and she's a vicious... She started the fight to her. You're scared of her. I'm not scared of many people, but I'd be scared of that. You know what I mean? If someone's like, because I ain't told you if she could
kill her, didn't she?
She would kill her. Yeah, she would kill her.
Yeah.
That's why she's scared. You know what I mean? I like that little touch of PTSD. Yeah. I think it's a good way because it's real. Like Sam is not going to be not scared of her after what she tried to do to her.
Oh yeah, every normal person would be, wouldn't they, if you nearly got killed?
Yeah, and another thing as well in the show was the breaking of Dimitri's arm. That was crazy.
I
didn't expect Hulk. I thought Hulk would turn at that point.
I did to be fair.
But I didn't expect the arm break. And yeah, like you said, Dimitri's one of your favourite characters. I didn't expect that. And mate, Dimitri's been pulling the birds, mate.
Yeah, he has. Dimitri's a man, isn't he? Dimitri don't piss about. Like he knows what he's doing. He's learned karate. He's quite popular now. Like he knows what he's doing. He's a smart guy.
Yeah,
funny character in the show.
Definitely, mate. And also, what I like with is how Daniel uses his own experience from Karate Kid 3 with Mark Barnes, how he was scared in the tournament against Mark Barnes with fear, and he used it with Samantha's situation with Tori.
Yeah.
And then you see obviously the ending scene that Tori uses that, but I'll not skip ahead too much. But you obviously see that Tori uses that, which I think was a really good touch as well.
Yeah, it was. I've not seen Karate Kid 3 though. I've not seen that one.
It's one of them things where it's like shit, but it's fun. It's funnily shit. So it's like a really funny shit
like
movie.
Scary movie. Like it's shit, but you just sit and watch it because it's funny.
It makes you laugh. Like the Terry Silver's so amazing in it. Like he's so good in that. Like now the real pain begins, Danny boy. Honestly, mate. Can you believe that Terry Silver was like younger than Danielson? Danielson when he in those films.
Daniel's like 20-something. Yeah, like but in the first one, he was what 22, and he was playing a 15-year-old. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? When I saw it, he was 22.
Mate,
in the
I couldn't
first
believe it.
one.
Like, he was older than Terry Silver, and Terry Silver was like 20 years older than him in the films as well, which is it's it's nuts. But yeah, I like how you use that situation with Samantha, and he gets her back on board with karate, and then obviously
Yeah.
she's back into it. I can't remember what happened after that. What happened after that? So he gets back from Okinawa, he starts wanting to teach Sam karate again. There it is.
They go on that fishing boat, don't they? And then they're
Fishing
like,
boat.
I'm always here for you.
And then Johnny's situation. So Johnny goes with Miguel. So he gets in his face. So Miguel sees Tori, doesn't he?
Yeah. And when they're in the restaurant.
And obviously he doesn't like it. So Miguel's like really down about it. And obviously he's arguing with Johnny. And another thing as well, like, I love how they did that as well. Like, Miguel's angry and he's going at him. And like, you're not thinking about then of standing up. You're going at him. So your brain's instantly thinking of standing up. Do you know what I mean? I like how they did that as well. And the recovery, the way they recovered Miguel was good. Like, I really liked how the methods of how he got back walking.
His character development's very good, yeah.
Oh, that's another good thing about the show, mate, is that the character development of each person.
Like you said with Hulk, he was like getting bullied, then he turned into a badass, but then he got too bad, but now he's like good. Now he's back to being like good. He's back on Team Johnny. His Eagle Fang Karate, he's back there.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And then another thing I loved about this series is the messages from Ali Mills. Like when we seen Johnny after Miguel had started tapping his foot, like he goes on his messages and he opens that friend request from Ali Mills and he sees her account, and it's just you see his face lights up and the music starts coming up, and that's the music from the Karate Kid original, the song that started playing when he seen it.
Really?
Yeah, it was so cool. Like, I love the message from Ali Mills. And obviously she comes in later in the season, which we'll talk about shortly, but
yeah, she was a good character.
That was a great touch. I love how they obviously build into it. And I knew at some point she would be in that season because there were mass messages between them.
Definitely.
Like, you just knew she was going to be in it at some point, so that was pretty cool.
100%.
I thought there was going to be a weird love triangle between Carmella. It's Carmella, isn't it?
Yeah. Miguel's mom.
Yeah, Carmella and Ali between that. I thought it was going to do something silly like that. I'm glad they didn't, to be fair.
Well, it's like they passed him on, innit? Like, they let Johnny leave the past and move on, like, because he's always like in the past, isn't he, really? But now they've kind of moved. He's kind of moving on to the future. He's looking towards the future instead of looking into the past, which were a great scene.
Yeah, because he said in the season 1 that he never really got over it, and I think that was a good moment for him to get over a sort of thing and sort of now leave the past behind and focus on the future with mum. But I think what will come into play in season 4 when we get to the predictions soon is that Miguel's mum will find out that he was messaging Ali at some point and he obviously met her. And obviously Miguel didn't know that he's sleeping with his mum. And he's going to be pretty mad if he's finding out that he's sleeping with his mum, but then he's helping Johnny message this Ali from his childhood.
Yeah, innit? Yeah.
Like that's going to come into play at some point. Like,
that's a good theory, to be fair.
That really that definitely is going to come into play.
She'll come back. I think Ali's going to move there in season 4.
When we get to prediction, I've got a good prediction. I want to jump in the end. I've just thought of something in my head, but that is a good shot, to be fair. That's a good shot. But I think that will come into play in season 4 at some point where you get something about that encounter. So then we get, what else have we got from season 3? Hawk, Dimitri. Oh yeah, Conor was back. Like, I didn't expect that. That was pretty cool. I'm glad they brought him back because I thought it was a good character to have in there. And I'm glad that they started teaching him karate because it creates that good rivalry.
Oh, the bully.
Yeah.
Is that the bully? Yeah, that was good.
Like, and when Hawk destroyed that other mate of his, that boast.
That were intense, that. Like, so it's like kind of a more of a light-hearted show. And then, like, he beat him to a pulp. Like, literally had blood all over his hands and lot. Like, that was Hawk showing off, like, he's the top dog in Cobra Kai.
Like, you just know that was when you can I love as well when he's beating him up and you can see those flashbacks of him getting bullied. Brilliant.
You can see his face, like, just kind of like drop after he realized he did it. He's like, oh, he looked shocked that he did it.
Yeah, I think he was happy though. You see when he stared at Carly, he didn't say anything, but he gave him that look where he looked at him long enough and he went, "Call me lip again, and then you're next," sort of thing. And you see that fear
that was class.
as he stared down Carla, mate. Such a character Hawk is it? And I feel like the creators of this show watch WWE because there's been a few now heel turns to babyface turns again. Do you know what I mean? Like Miguel was good, then turned to heel turn, then he came back to babyface. Like Hawk, babyface, heel, now back to babyface.
Babyface,
Like there's been a few like heel babyface, and I think that's what makes me think they're pro wrestling fans. That's a big thing in like pro wrestling is a constant baby and heel turns, but it's a good mix of that and a good blend. So obviously now,
like, well, look at Robbie. He were bad, good.
Yeah.
Bad again.
Yeah, definitely. Robbie's a weird one, but I'm glad they worked with that Cobra Kai. 'Cause he's more of a bad guy. I don't like him as a good guy. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool to see him as a bad guy, like full on bad guy now.
Like he's gonna be
good.
He's gonna be a bad guy for a season at least. Like he's not gonna be one of them characters like Hulk where he comes back and says like, because he doesn't like anybody else from that. He only likes Sam, and Sam turned on him with Miguel, which I'm glad they did that because Miguel and Sam work. Like, let's be honest, they were the original ones. To be fair. That everyone wanted that, so I'm glad they did that. And it was good to see the conversation as well between Daniel and Miguel. That was so good.
Oh yeah, the father and boyfriend talk like in every American thing ever.
Yeah,
that was good from them.
Because like, if you think about Miguel, is like the Karate Kid of this show. He is that the Karate Kid.
Is.
Comes from bullied, comes out to the badass Karate Kid.
He's Daniel. Yeah,
exactly. So Daniel sees himself in him. It's good to see one Karate Kid talking to another. Like I look at Miguel as the Karate Kid, so it was good to see them two talking. So we get to season 8, but the episode 8, and you see that music going off, and you see that big ass, and you think, who's this? And then that grandmother walks in, and it shows Annie Mills, mate. What the fuck? Holy shit! I am up and down, mate. I'm in bed at like 11:30. I think I got up early to watch it. I was like, shit, holy shit, she's back, Annie Mills, mate. I'm in my room, I'm screaming, Cobra Kai. I'm going mad in my room.
Told me that, yeah.
Like, because it's been like 3 seasons they're making this, teased it for so long that she's coming back. Like, her coming back was just legendary.
At the end. Yeah, it was a good entrance, especially like Christmas time as well. That were a class.
Yeah, amazing, mate. And then when you see her and Johnny meet up, like, just like, it is 30 years in the making, because if you look at the Karate Kid film, they never actually had just a scene with them two in it, just them two.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Just now it is like it's Johnny and Ali in it. Like it was always Daniel and Ali, but now it's Johnny and Ali. Like it was good to see that.
I love how they spent the whole day together as well. Like I was afraid that for some reason that Carmelo were going to see them together and it was going to be a massive kick-off.
I did, yeah. I thought that.
I'm good that never happened. It was a perfect day. Like they went to the Ferris wheel, obviously, where they had that great moment back in the day. They said, and it was just like a great. It's so good to see it together. I was up and down, bats off the walls. Yes, come on. I was absolutely crazy. Like bringing her back, like she's been saying for a couple of seasons now, she doesn't know she wants to come back. And then I watched the Netflix after party, and she said she was just waiting for the call. Really, she was just saying that to the press, but she was waiting for the call for them to ask her to come.
Who wouldn't want to come back? Like that show popped off when it went on Netflix. Who wouldn't want to? I think it was the most streamed thing on Netflix at the time. I think it's one of the top streamed things in Netflix history. Who wouldn't want to come back?
It's like top 3 still.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's impressive. Say we're a show on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. I had nowhere near enough attention on YouTube. Like no one knew about it. I was one of the few that watched it on YouTube from the start. But I didn't actually watch it from the start, to be fair. I watched it like 6 months after it came out on YouTube. My mate Jack watched it from the start. Fucking hardcore Karate Kid fan. He's got everything, mate. Like, he watches that. He's watched the next Karate Kid, which I can't bring myself to watch. Like, it's just not good.
I seen that, to be fair. I seen that on TV. I was like, what's going on here? And I think on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 14%. Like,
the thing is, as well, she'll be in Cobra Kai at some point because it's a good storyline. Like she's a Miyagi student. Yeah. Like it's a good storyline. Like she will be. I have no doubt. I will say it right now that she will be in this Cobra Kai. Whether it's next season, but she'll be in it. Like I don't think it'll be next season.
Daniel. The two Miyagi students.
Like there'll be some sort of thing, and she'll be the bad guy in it. She'll be like looking for like something will come up about Miyagi, and she'll be back. Like I know for a fact that she'll be. It's because it can redeem her because she has so much hate from the next Karate Kid fans, Karate Kid fans for that film that she'll want to redeem it. And Cobra Kai fans have been really good. Cobra Kai writers have been really good at redeeming characters. Like when they redeemed Johnny Lawrence, like we went to the Kreese flashbacks, mate.
Like that was insane. Yeah, well, like you found out that his mom killed herself. He didn't have a good life while he joined the army, and at a young age, he got drilled in his head that you need to be first to strike. You've got to strike first. Like it was insane. Them showing you how like it gets in his head and how he takes the army into the real world. Like he's trying to create Cobra Kai into like an army, innit? Like it was insane. You do feel kind of sorry for him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're doing, and that's what Cobra Kai does brilliant. It's a grey area of who really is the bad guy. That everyone's got a backstory.
I just like to say, and
like look, I love that. They were my favourite scenes of the show, apart from the Miguel and Johnny scenes, which were always sick. But they were my favourite scenes on the show, the Vietnam flashbacks
Yeah,
and
they were good
just
then.
seeing Kreese go into the army and obviously saving Terry Silver, which will come too soon. But they were sick. Like those flashbacks. I hope they do something similar to that next season, or just
to be fair.
show us more of Kreese and Silver flashbacks. Like
yeah, definitely.
Because obviously he saved Johnny more. Or just show us something more, because I love them flashbacks. They were amazing. And did you know actually that the body that bullied Kreese is the young Kreese?
Yeah.
He was Kreese's son.
Really?
Yes,
yeah, he kind of looked like him, but wow, that's pretty insane.
Because everyone at first, when that guy in the red jacket came in, everyone thought that was John Kreese, because he was saying like no mercy and all that sort of stuff. Like you show no mercy, and then it was actually Martin Cove's son, which is pretty cool. But
that is good, to be fair.
It was amazing. I'm glad they did that. There was some real, and it makes you feel sorry for Kreese when you're looking at him and stuff. And it makes it humanizes him, which is good.
He's getting manipulated, really, and it's like getting that into the real world. Like that's the army. You don't need to be teaching kids like that in the real world. Like, look what happens to Hulk and all them. Like, you don't need that. Look at Johnny.
Definitely.
That from the old Karate Kids.
And you can see as well that he's got sympathy as well for like Tori, because he can see himself in her, and that's why he helped her out.
She's basically in.
And I think that's one of the seasons I loved about him in that season when he did that for Tori, because it showed his good side. Like, there is a good side to Kreese, and I think when he will die in this. He will die in Cobra Kai at some point. I don't think like by murder. I just think he'll die like something like real, like say like a cancer or something, or just like a heart attack or something like that. I think he'll die. I
guess I could see that, to be fair.
And I think he'll start to become good, and he'll pass away in the show. Obviously not in real life, I mean in the show, sort of thing.
Yeah, in the show, yeah.
And give him
don't forget, he phoned that guy back. He phoned the army guy, don't forget.
Yeah,
so we're going to be seeing a new character introduced, which
we'll come to that. That's cool, Terry Silver.
Right, I see.
But we'll come to that. Because if in the flashbacks, the capture, I knew it was Silver, but I just thought the ponytail guy was Silver at first.
I did,
in the show, but the guy, the sergeant calls him Silver at one point when they're outside that camp and they're spying on those people, and that guy's panicking next to Johnny, and he starts going, "Man, I don't know what I'm doing, Johnny," and the sergeant goes, "Shut it, Silver," and there's a YouTube video of it. So
right, that's the guy off Third Karate Kid, the guy.
It's Terry Silver coming back, mate. So that's why everyone's fucking pumped, because it's him coming back.
That's pretty crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's amazing, mate. But as we get to that final episode then of the fight, we'll talk about the meeting first. Ali.
Oh yeah.
Johnny, and then we see Johnny when he sees Daniel and Ali, and he can see he got that flashback again of them two, of when he was younger, that he's stealing Ali off him again, even though he knows he's married, but you can still see that flashback. And then they did the spaghetti thing as well, where obviously Daniel went into that spaghetti, but Johnny almost got it as well.
Cool. That were funny, to be fair. Not sneaking in through the kitchen this time as well.
Like
that was a cool little reference.
The whole meeting itself was pretty cool. Like Daniel's wife, Ali, and Johnny, and find out the real reason why Ali dumped Johnny, which was pretty cool. Like, because obviously she was branded as this person, like she just dumped Daniel for some college kid and broke Maggie's car, which now we know is not the case. Like, Daniel was becoming a hothead and blamed her. For
overreacting. Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Another thing as well I loved about this ending as well is where we got them talking. They were obviously having a good time as well, Daniel and Johnny. This happens every season, I think. Like, end of every season, like Johnny and Daniel started to rekindle the thing, and they started to become buddies again. And the kids mess it up. This time they joined together.
That's what I mean. It's going to be exciting to see their two styles combine and see what happens with them both. With the students having obviously not the greatest of past, but now we've got obviously Miyagi-Do and what's it called, Eagle Fang Karate combined, and they're going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And obviously the fight itself, like we say, it was a bit extreme, like going for the window and the home invasion. But the fights itself, mate, they were amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I like how Miguel was getting battered. Like, I love that, because then obviously he's not going to be coming battering everyone. Like, you can see he was slow when he was throwing his kicks. He was really slow trying to throw kicks. He was getting absolutely beat up. And I love the thing that brought him back and giving that little bit of energy he needed was seeing his buddies, Hawk and Dimitri, make things up. Yeah. And it made him have that little bit of fight in him. And did you know that he used some Miyagi-Do karate against Kyler?
What was it?
He used the drum technique. No, he was given the drum by Samantha.
Oh yeah.
And she showed him the drum technique of that, what Danielson learned in Karate Kid 2 against Chosen in the final scene.
Oh yeah.
And he did it against Kyler. There's a video on it, and it's really foreshadowing a hybrid version of Miyagi-Do karate and Eagle Fang, because he used the drum technique to block Kyler's shot and then take him down, mate. Honestly,
cool.
Miguel is so sick. Like, he's amazing.
He is. He's a good written character. He's a good actor as well. He's a very good character.
Amazing. But I think the biggest thing that came out of the fight was Hulk's turn. Like, I did not expect it at that point.
I didn't, to be fair.
Like, I think
didn't expect that.
Everyone says he turned because he seen Dimitri getting battered on, but I disagree, because if you watch the scene back again, you see that he sees Kyler start beating up Miguel and then drops him down.
Yeah.
And he sees the look on his face like, Kyler's not my friend, Miguel's my friend, actually.
And
he realizes, like, what the hell am I doing?
Kyler's just there.
And then him
and Miguel's been friends for since they started karate.
And he sees that and he starts to have doubts. And then he realizes that's my buddy Dimitri getting beat. And then that's when he realizes. Everyone says, "Oh, he shouldn't have turned," but I think that was the perfect way. He seen Miguel and he's like, "Oh shit, what am I doing here? Like, I'm letting my fucking mate Miguel get battered up." And then he sees
Dimitri,
and he sees Dimitri again. And he's like, "That's it, I'm done. Like, I'm going after him." And that was a perfect. And I think in season 4, he's still like got a lot of redeeming to do because of what he did.
No, 100%.
Like,
because of breaking his arm and that.
I know you seen him walk out at the end of the scene, but I think you will see him like you'll get a lot of flack from like the students there, Miyagi-Do students, so like even Eagle Fang students, still give him a lot of shit stuff. And like even Johnny, even Danny on that, because he destroyed his dojo back in season 2.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
There's going to be like tense moments. Like, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
There's going to be some tense moments, and you could even see him revert back to Cobra Kai. I'm not sure he will, but I think he'll be tempted a couple of times.
Yeah, I kind of hope he doesn't, because then it's like just repeating the cycle, and it like is bad.
I don't think he will. I can't see that happening, to be fair. But and I think as well what did him as well when he seen Robbie during, like, when he seen Robbie and like you can tell he was not comfortable being around Robbie because of what he did to his friend Miguel. And all the times that you never seen him like go after Miguel, so he knows Miguel's his friend and Miguel's not done anything to him. And that's what I think really turned him in the end, is seeing what his people were doing to his friend Miguel, because he joined because of Miguel. Yeah,
exactly. And I think another thing is that Kreese, he saw Kreese didn't really want him. He wanted Robbie because Robbie's Johnny's son, and he wants to turn Robbie against Johnny and Daniel because obviously Daniel's like his father figure. Like, and I think Hulk were getting jealous because he was like the top student, but like Kreese kept going after Robbie, and Robbie was stealing his spotlight and that, because Robbie are obviously a good fighter as well.
Oh yeah, definitely, mate. And then obviously after that, we get the Johnny sees me. He goes to tell Carmen that he loves her and stuff, and then he sees Miguel battered, and then he goes down to the Cobra Kai dojo, and that fight between Miguel, between John Kreese and Johnny Lawrence, unreal,
amazing. That were actually an unreal fight. That were amazing to see. That
fight between all three of them was one of the best scenes of the whole seasons altogether. Like,
100%.
It's been what everyone's been waiting for, mate. 100%.
Johnny and Daniel combining to fight Kreese. Like, who'd have thought that back in the first Karate Kid?
I mean, as well, there's an Easter egg in there, because do you know in Karate Kid 2 where John Kreese is choking Daniel?
Yeah.
Obviously, he starts choking Johnny because he hits him with a cheap shot. He starts choking him out. And Miyagi saves Johnny, doesn't he?
Yeah.
From John.
As a scrap with Kreese.
And then Daniel saves Johnny in this one.
Yeah, to be fair.
The same way, pushes him off and starts fighting Kreese. And it's the same sort of way. And I love how they did that little Easter egg there, a little sort of tribute to Mr. Miyagi. And
again,
another thing as well, Johnny's wearing black, which he wore in the Cobra Kai tournament when he fought Daniel.
Yeah,
and he's wearing white.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The writers are so precise with these little stick details, mate.
I never noticed that until you said,
mate. It just doesn't. I love how they do it. Honestly,
that's amazing. To be fair, yeah.
Do you know what makes me a bit crazy? You know, how might Cobra Kai wear white? I thought they were wearing black.
So same, to be fair. Yeah.
They did at one point, didn't they? In the tournament,
they did in first season. Yeah. I think that's just training gear. They'll just wear.
Actually, yeah, I think they wear white. They wore white in the Karate Kid, didn't they, when they were training? Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. So that's as me being it. They wore white. In that one. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But literally, see that fight then, and you hear that little voice from Chosen and Daniel's head as he's, if an enemy insists on war, you take away their ability to wage, and he does the pressure points. And
Great quote.
thing
Oh,
is,
great
he
scene.
could have killed him, mate. He could have killed him. And
Yeah,
then
100%.
I'm glad you're doing this. I don't want to see, like, I think we you spoke about it. I don't want to see where a murder in this show where it becomes a Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale. Yeah, another Riverdale, which we don't want.
Or
Like,
30
come on,
Reasons Why.
one's enough. Yeah,
Like, I don't want to see any
we've got
deaths
enough.
by any murder or anything. I mean, the Johnny Miguel versus Robbie thing was sort of realistic because that could happen when you're fighting.
Oh yeah,
Right,
definitely.
and it wasn't trying to kill him; it was an accident. Like
Them two
that,
are rivals, isn't it? Like Jenny and Daniel were.
like that could have happened. So that's realistic. And obviously, no one died, so it was okay. So that worked, but I don't want to see no murders. I don't think they will. I think the Rise are hardcore Karate Kid fans. They won't do people
They are.
like that. They wouldn't. They won't mess with this series. I think a lot of writing, precise writing. Like I said, just wearing black and white in that fight shows how precise and precision they are with each detail.
And that, like you just said, how much love they have for the Karate Kids and how they don't want to mess it up because Karate Kids got such a hardcore fan base, hasn't it? Yeah. So, like, it's got a loyal fan base.
I never see at the end. Then they go for the wager at the end where they say, "You win at the tournament, I'll leave. You win at the tournament, you leave." Actually, no. To be fair, they just said if John loses, he's got to go. But when John was about to say, "If you win, if you lose," and Johnny bumps in and say, "We won't lose."
Yeah.
John Kreese actually never made a bet where he wanted to say to him if they lost. There was never actually anything said.
Well, yeah.
So I think something will come out of that in season 4. That if you lose, then there'll be a new repercussion for them.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that. Like you said, that Silver's coming back. Like Cobra Kai is getting reinforcements for this fight. Like, I wonder if he's got a dojo. Like, because obviously in the third Karate Kid he taught it, didn't he? Yeah. So imagine he's got a.
He bought loads in the season 3. He bought 25 dojos across the world for John Kreese to run. I don't know how that worked out because obviously they lost the tournament. So we'll see about that. We're going to see what happened to Mike Barnes and Terry Silver. I don't know if we'll see Mike Barnes, but that'll be interesting if we do. But like I say, I think John Kreese will have a stipulation in season 4 because he never actually stated his stipulation at the end of season 3 of if they lost, what would happen. So I think you'll find out what his stipulation will be.
Johnny goes back to Cobra Kai.
Yeah, good one. He goes back to Cobra Kai, but I don't know if Johnny would even do that.
But he'd be betting it, like they'd have to, you know what I mean? Like John Kreese would leave, like it's just they've got to go for it, haven't they? The word, they've got to agree on the word.
Yeah, true. So I think the whole season, and we'll talk at the end before we get into the prediction season 4. But I think the ending, mate, when he rings his friend, and you see the ending thing when he lets out Terry Silver out that cage, and he says, "I owe you for the rest of my life," and then he rings him, mate.
That were amazing. And now I know that's him off Karate Kid 3. That's even more hype up. To be fair, I didn't know that, but that's
I'm up and down. I'm going, man. I'm throwing things in the air. Come on, he's back, mate. I am up and down, jumping back, and then the perfect song to finish a perfect season and a perfect ending to the season.
Coming in the air.
When Daniel's about to walk out and the song comes out, mate, I am singing it. I am screaming it out loud, like in the air tonight. I'm going up and down, mate. And he comes out, and then obviously
it's good.
You see all the Eagle Fan Karate students come out, and then just as the peak of the song comes, you see Johnny walk out, mate, slow, and black, mate, amazing.
That was an amazing scene. Them two stood next to each other about to teach a class, like that. Such a good scene.
It is 30 years in the making because it always has been debated who is the real bad guy. Like as well, a funny scene of mine before we get onto predictions is the school meeting when he goes, when I went to school, I was bullied and karate saved me. And then someone shouts, "Bullshit, I heard you was a real bully."
That's obviously an Easter egg for the fan base.
That was...
Because everyone says Daniel's the bad guy.
And have you seen that video of it that says Daniel's the bad guy? Have you seen that video?
Yeah. It's got like 12 million views, isn't it? It's quite a popular video.
Amazing, mate. I loved it, to be fair. I loved it. Another thing, another thing you should watch out for as well, in Karate Kid 3, mate, which just shows how precise they are again with the writing. Terry Silver's talking about wager because he owns these like businesses where he dumps like high chemicals why he's so rich and stuff. He dumps chemicals on land and stuff. That he's a billionaire. And he's in the bath and he's talking to his secretary and she's saying, who's the DA for this case? And it's somebody Cole. And I'm thinking that this somebody Cole's related to this Tom Cole. And he's gonna be backing Tom Cole and he's gonna go after LaRusso's business. And I think I'll start that prediction off actually with I think the first thing Terry Silver will do is he's gonna be anonymous. Yeah, I think he's gonna obviously come. We're gonna see him, but Daniel's not gonna see him for a while. I think he's gonna be doing a lot of things on Daniel. When Daniel I want to say that episode 4 or 5, Daniel's gonna see him. as well as Johnny.
Yeah, and then that'd be a good interaction between them two. That'll be worth the wait.
And that fear is going to come out of Daniel. You're going to see, oh my God, it's Terry Silver. You see those flashbacks again. It's going to be amazing,
when
mate.
he
Like when
manipulated him really in Cobra Kai, like literally scared him.
it's going to be good to see Thomas Ian Griffin again. He's not done much acting. He'd come away from acting for a while. And it's going to be sick to see. Everyone loves him, mate. He's one of the Karate Kid fans' favorite characters. Like you need to watch that because even though the film's like average, he's like makes the film. He really makes it. He is so good in that film. Like his acting's tremendous. Like he's just.
I think
amazing.
I'm going to have to. Yeah, you've said like, and like you've just said it. I didn't know he was actually the guy who Kreese rung up. So that's got me actually more excited to see another character coming back. And the guy from Karate Kid 3, I was like, yeah, so that's going to be good.
Right, so we'll get into season 4 predictions, mate. So give me I'll say about, start with 10 predictions. I think there's a lot of predictions. If you can't get 10, then don't worry. But I've got a few I can get in. So give me 10 predictions that you've got for season 4, buddy.
I've said one. Ali's probably going to move back. Does she have a son? Did she have a son?
Son and a daughter, yeah.
I think one of them's going to go into karate. I think they might join either Daniel or they'll join Daniel or they'll be karate anyway. Like I said, that guy's coming back, Silver. He's going to have more students. We're going to get more characters, I reckon. Definitely for Cobra Kai. I can't really think of him anymore, to be fair. Maybe we hopefully get to see like Chosen and that more. Maybe hopefully they could come back because it'd be interesting to see them again, what they were doing. That's about it, really. Like, I ain't got many to go off.
I've got a few. So obviously we're going to see Terry Silver back. That's 100%. I think we'll see that, no doubt. Terry Silver comes back, and like I think he'll have students, or he'll bring back Mike Barnes to redeem himself if Mike Barnes is there. Actually, no, I'll take that away Mike Barnes, but I don't think Mike Barnes prediction yet. So I think I'll have students with him. And I don't think everyone thinks it's going to be related to Tori, which I don't think that's the case at all.
Nah, I can't see that.
I think he'll come back, he'll have students with him, like you say, more characters in the show. Second of all, Tori, we'll find out who her mother or father is. We'll find out one of the two. I think we haven't seen him on yet. There is something there that why John Kreese, I know he sees himself in it, but there's something why he sees something so much in her that he's supporting. Because you don't just pay someone because you see so much in it yourself in her. Because obviously he sees himself in Johnny as well. Dad who'd abandoned him and stuff like that. So
imagine her mom is Kreese's finger. She'd be old, but imagine she's Kreese's finger.
She was related to one of Kreese's girlfriend's family, sort of thing.
Yeah, like her daughter or something.
I won't say daughter, but I think she's probably related to her family at some point.
Because we don't know if she died. We got a letter saying she died, but for all we know, that could have just been Army manipulating him even more to add more to add fuel to the fire.
Yeah, true. So I would say Terry Silver's back, new students. We'll find out. And I shall give a little prediction here. I don't doubt it's true. I think that Tori is Terry Silver. I think that Tori is Dutch's daughter. Do you know who Dutch is?
No, is that Karate Kid 3?
Karate Kid 1. So he was part of Johnny's crew and he's not been in the season yet. He's apparently in prison.
Oh, wow.
I think he's Dutch's daughter. So that's my second prediction. Third one, I think Johnny. I think Daniel will take Johnny and his students to Okinawa to train with Chosen.
That'd be amazing to see.
Train with Chosen.
I do hope they go back there. Like, and it'd be funny to see Johnny interact with Daniel's other rival because obviously them two are rivals, and then he had Chosen, and then it'd be good to see them two like talk out and how much they hated Daniel.
Because I think we'll see Johnny and Daniel will realise that oh shit, like they've got reinforcements. Like Terry Silver's got like a big training. Like John Kreese have got reinforcements. They are really doing like bulking up the training. They've got to do something. And Daniel's gonna say, me and Chosen are good. He's gonna take his students over to Okinawa, and he's to train with Chosen students.
That'd be amazing.
And there's gonna be some showdowns in Okinawa with the Okinawa students and the Miyagi Eagle Fang Karate students. Imagine that, mate. Like,
that'd be amazing. I do hope they go back to Okinawa. Like, I do hope we see Chosen and that again. And like, you've just made it better by saying them. Even Chosen helps them on training, but then there might be some students over there. Like that'd be amazing. Like that'd make the season.
I think that would be pretty cool. That just get some good training and be ready for the tournament. Yeah. I think that's going to happen. I do think that's going to happen. So that's my third prediction. So. Fourth prediction is Adam Mills is going to reveal to Johnny that she's coming back. At the end of the season 4, she's going to reveal to Johnny. The last episode, she's going to reveal to Johnny that she's coming back.
Definitely.
to
She's
the
definitely
Valley,
coming back.
to the Valley. And for
She'll definitely come
with her
back.
kids with the Valley, and Karma's going to be there, and it's going to start this
Who's
whole
that?
love triangle. I think, or this whole
Oh,
love
right. Yeah.
in season
It will. It
5.
definitely will.
I think that happens. That's
I
my
know.
fourth prediction.
I kind of hope they don't do that though, because like we said, like with Carmen, like Ali said, you've got to go and get her. So it's like he moved on. So I kind of hope they don't make a love triangle out of it, because then it just gets like a bit tedious and that bit repetitive.
How they don't, but I think they will. I don't think they make a love triangle. I think they'll do something with her daughters or kids, and there's something will happen there. But I think there's something's going to happen between Ali. I think Ali will be back at some point.
Oh yeah, she'll be back.
I'll change it. I'll say change it. I think Ali will be back at some point then. Or you'll find out she moves to the Valley at the end of season 4. That she's moving back to the Valley.
Be pretty cool to see.
It would, mate. 5th prediction, Cobra Kai wins in the tournament. I think Cobra Kai will win the tournament. I think Robbie will do more. I think Miguel will not be ready. I think Miguel will be struggling still. And they'll lose early on to like... actually, I don't think Miguel will compete. I'm not sure Miguel... I don't think Miguel will compete. I'm not too sure he'll compete. It's one of the things I'm not too sure. Like, actually, I don't know, mate.
Depends if they're going to have a bit of a time. It depends if they're going to have a bit of a time skip, like a couple of months again. You know what I mean? Because if it's a couple of months, then he might be ready to compete. But like you said, Robbie's got Kreese now, and now Robbie's got like loads of anger, and Kreese is going to use that and tell him to strike, cheat, and it's going to be interesting to see Robbie's character development.
Yeah, I'm unsure, mate. I don't want Robbie to beat Miguel. That's the last thing I want. I mean, that would ruin it for me if Robbie beat Miguel.
I think he's got to once, though. He's lost twice, hasn't he?
Well, no, Robbie beat Miguel, didn't he? Second time, he kicked him over a railing.
Oh, well, yeah, but like, it's only because Fingy showed mercy in it, Miguel.
It is,
Miguel
what does Kreese say? The fight's not over till it's over.
I know. Exactly.
It's 1-1 in my book, in my opinion. So
I guess you could say it's 1-1 there.
In fact, it would be big doing that rematch, that trilogy between them two at the tournament, Miguel and Robbie. But I actually think Hawk will win the tournament. I don't know how, but I think Hawk will win the tournament. I think he's going to be a badass in the next season. And I think him getting some defense from Miyagi-Do is going to make his game go up another level.
Yeah, if he just keeps his anger under control as well instead of lashing out, like keeps a calm head, like from Miyagi-Do, he's going to be a good fighter. He'll challenge for the title.
Or so I'll do a double bit. So then the 5th one will be Hawk to win it, or Dimitri to get beat by Kyler, and then Hawk will face Kyler after and beat Kyler, and then Hawk will get beat by Robbie, and Robbie will fight Miguel. That'll be my 5th prediction, but I'm not too sure.
Robbie versus Miguel. I'm gassed for that.
I'm unsure which one it'll be.
You've got Johnny, Robbie's dad, and Daniel, Robbie's like father figure, cheering for the other team. Like that's gonna be interesting to see if they do that. That will be good.
Another thing, Mike Barnes will be back. He's season 4. I think he'll be in it. Mike Barnes will be in it.
What correct kids he have?
3. He's the guy that fights Danny in the tournament at Old Valley in the second one.
Well, yeah, he should come back then, to be fair.
And Terry Silver brought him in to beat Daniel. You need to watch it, trust me, Karate Kid 3, because there's going to be a lot of Karate Kid 3 things in.
I'll have to watch it tonight, yeah, there will be.
Because he fought Mike Barnes, because Terry Silver brought Mike Barnes in to fight Daniel, paid him to beat him.
Oh, wow.
Mike Barnes was considered Karate's bad boy in the world, sort of thing. So he paid Mike Barnes to come and beat Daniel and put pain on him. It's an interesting season though, because like Daniel joins Cobra Kai at one point and stuff.
And I know that. Yeah,
it's an interesting season. So seasons predictions 6. I've got another one here, but I'm trying to think how it's going to work. Tori will fight. I think Tori will beat Sam.
I mean, that'd be pretty interesting, but yeah, I get Tori's the better fighter, I'd say.
Because Miyagi-Do can't win everyone. They won't win everyone. Some are going to lose. Like, there's going to be a few showdowns on there. So I think Tori will beat Sam, bit cheating probably. You'll get, and I think 7, you'll get a showdown between Johnny Lawrence, Terry Silver, John Kreese, Daniel LaRusso, and maybe Mike Barnes. Maybe if we get him
that'd be insane. If they got them 3, them 2, them 3 fighting off against each other.
Or at the end of the fight, Mike Barnes walks in to the Cobra Kai dojo as they're all fighting. start season
Gaston,
5.
to be fair, there's loads to do. There's loads to say. To be fair, I didn't realise there were this many, but
because he's heard
insane.
about Terry Silver's back in the valley and he wants to come back and get his revenge. And I think something's gonna happen with Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes will make a cameo or he'll be revealed to be back in season 5.
I think what they've done is like they've based it. Obviously, the first 2 seasons were like based off number 1 in it, like the first Karate Kid. And then this 3rd season went more into Karate Kid 2, where obviously I'm going to Okinawa, Chosen, and that. So season 4 is probably going to lean towards Karate Kid 3. So you like, because Silver's, like you said, Silver's coming back, and obviously that he should definitely come back if it is like that. If it's going to be based off Karate Kid 3, he'll definitely be back.
Definitely, and I do think one or two of the Miyagi Do Eagle fan guys will go back to Cobra Kai. Unsure of yet who.
It'd be tough to see what it is, but yeah, I think that'll happen.
But I do think there'll be a couple more new characters in it as well that join Cobra Kai from Terry Silver. It's 2 badasses or something. So that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, it would be good to see that. I think you need a few more new characters. It's been 3 seasons. Could just do a refresher of new characters.
And final predictions, Dimitri will be with that Jasmine.
Yeah, 100% he is.
Dimitri's
the man now.
Yeah, so
he's the man.
That's my prediction of season 4. I mean, what a great season. I can't believe we've got to wait another fucking year for it, man. I'm absolutely devastated, but it is hard being a massive fan of Cobra Kai. You've got to wait so long.
Every TV show, I've had to wait, The Witcher's not even out yet, and that will last Christmas last year. And now that didn't come out this year, so I'm going to wait till next year. I don't know if they're going to wait till summer or next Christmas, so it's this Christmas, so it's going to be a long way.
Yeah, mate, listen. When that's the thing about it though, because there's going to be 6 seasons of Cobra Kai. Apparently, they've got ideas to go up to 6 seasons, but I think they could even go to like 8 or 9 if they can get enough ideas to go. And if as long as they don't drag it on, they get enough ideas to go longer.
You don't want to kill it though, do you? You'd rather leave it on a better end, short and sweet, than like when it doesn't need to be as long as what it does. Like Game of Thrones, different topic, but the first 6 seasons were amazing. Season 7 were good. Season 8 were awful. That's one of the worst seasons in TV history. I don't want them to do that.
Yeah, I don't think they will. Yeah, I don't think they will.
I don't want them to go down that way.
So they got enough ideas for 6 seasons, and I can certainly think of enough ideas to last 6 seasons. And I think as the more they go on, I think they'll get more ideas to go. I think they will get eventually more ideas.
And if they do the next Karate Kid, they could even base off a season.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I think they will bring some people back. Not some. I think they'll just bring her back from Karate Kid. Hilary Swank.
But they're going to be growing up, innit? This is the problem. Like kids in school, they're going to be growing up now. Because Stranger Things, they're taller and that, and they're starting to look like they're not even in school anymore. Yeah, so that's the only problem, innit?
I think it will probably end after when they leave school. So probably season 6, they're all left by then. So I would say
it's going to be tough to keep it going when people look too old for school.
Yeah, I think they will eventually all get older, and season 6 probably will be the last season, I would say, or could even be season 5. I think it will depend how much how old the actors are looking and how many ideas they've got. Yeah. But to be fair, the actors don't look too old. Like they can always shave them and stuff like that. Yeah. Like it's not too.
But they don't look too old yet, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look too old. Like when Zolo Maradona shaves his beard out, he does look like a kid again. Like when he shaves his hair, a lot of them do. Like girls don't age that well. They don't age that much either, do they? So
yeah, exactly.
And like Daniel's,
Samantha is going to look all right.
Daniel's always looked 24 anyway, so.
Yeah. It's freaky how young he looks. Till like 50 something.
He's like 60, mate. It's crazy. He's 60. He's 60. He looks about 30.
He's older than Keanu Reeves.
Like when he was 30, he looked about 18. It is nuts.
That is insane. I didn't think he was 60. That is wild. To be fair,
he's the same age Miyagi was in the Karate Kid, too.
Really?
Yeah. It is unreal, mate. Like. It's going to be like good. I can't wait for how good this show's going to evolve and more ideas coming. We're going to see more returns. But we'll move on from Cobra Kai. We talked about that for a while. I mean, like I say, it was a really good season. There was lots to talk about.
It was a lot to cover.
Definitely. So I've got a few topics here, Joe, where I'll pick what you want to talk about because there's a few in it. Yeah. We definitely haven't got time for all of them. So Jake Paul, Mayweather Paul, Conor McGregor return, Donald Trump attacks. Obi-Wan Kenobi series, the vaccine. We'll not talk about that. We'll talk about COVID. PS5. We'll start about PS5. Talk about a little bit about PS5 first.
Yeah.
PS5, Joe. I know yourself. You've not managed to get one. As I was being rubbed in by James Pashley, who managed to get one.
Yeah, the celebrations, hurtful.
Yeah, let's talk about that because it was like they come out, everyone's on it straight away, and like you could queue in, you could like 60,000 people queuing in a queue just to get like PS5.
I don't know if it's because it will lockdown or whatever, but I know Sony's kind of messed up the shipping. I don't know if this was true, but on Twitter I saw someone saying Currys are still dishing out pre-orders from November. They haven't even had a restart, which that is disgusting. I was close to buying it from Smith's, but it didn't. It crashed every time I placed the order. I don't know what it is. Like, I think people want it more now, but I don't know why. Like, the PS4 wasn't this bad. Maybe it's because it was lockdown, you know what I mean? And everyone wanted a new console. Like, I don't get it. It was confusing to me, to be fair.
Yeah, it's one of the things like where I don't think people are sick of the PS4 because I know my PS4 is just Dustin collecting out. Like, when you put on when I put on Call of Duty, it sounds like airplanes going to Saudi Arabia or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's just
the worst thing with the PS4 now is when I'm playing a single player and I'm in a cutscene, it sounds like it's taking off. And I guess like James has got it and he showed how silent it is. Like, that's going to be amazing because I have to turn my TV up quite loud because the fan is going off on one.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's what I think. Like I said, lockdown played a big part as well. But hopefully you'll get one soon, mate.
Yeah, apparently some coming in a couple of weeks or this month. So hopefully I can cop one this month.
Smith's account made. John Smith account's made. Game account made.
Everything.
Every
Everything's
account
made. Yeah, everything.
made.
Curry's everywhere. I've made an account and I'm ready for it. August everywhere.
Definitely. And listen, the games on there, like the quality looks amazing. So hopefully when you get it, start cracking on with them single player games, Cyberpunk, as we've heard from Conor Murray, but Cyberpunk, Spider-Man.
Cyberpunk, Spider-Man, COD, I'm getting Final Fantasy. I'm so excited.
NBA 2K21, you can play on that as well, can't you?
Let's not play that as much. Nah, I'm not going to play that as much. I don't want to break a controller yet.
That's over. That's over for now. Yeah, we'll move on to the combat sport world, Joe. Well, I feel a bit awkward saying that, but can talk about who we're talking about. But the fight's happening. There's no avoiding that. It's in a month's time now. It's coming close. It's in 1 month and 11 days time.
I can't believe it.
Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. We've got to talk about it. It's a fight. Listen. He's a boxer. He's a boxer, Floyd Mayweather. He's a boxer, 50 now. We're going to talk about it. It's not
one of the best of all time. He's one of the GOATs, isn't it? Like, he's literally one of the GOATs of the sport.
When my mates ask me, why do you dislike boxing so much? Why do you not like boxers and all this sort of stuff? Well, there's fucking why. I can see where you're coming from. There is why.
I can see where you're coming from because Jake Paul's going after Dana White and all them, and he's refusing to let him fight Conor McGregor and that because it's embarrassing, isn't it? It's embarrassing. It's not even like funny. It's embarrassing for boxing. Like Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest of all times, 50 and all that. You've just said he's fighting someone who found a dead body in a forest. Like,
I think it's unfair play to say that about Logan Paul. To be fair, because he's
matured a lot.
He's redeemed himself from that, and he's matured a lot.
Yeah, he's class now.
And I like what he's putting out now. I watch some of his podcasts and stuff, and I like
his podcasting. Yeah, the Mike Tyson one. That were a good one.
And
I like that one.
I mean, fair play to him. He's got the fight. He's making a lot of money, and I think if I was him, I would take that fight. Like, listen, it's not his fault. It's not his job to keep intact the reputation of boxing. Like, he's a YouTuber wanting to make some money, have some big views. Like, that's a big fight for him.
Yeah,
it's Floyd who I'm pissed off at. It's Floyd who people are pissed off at because he's a legend of the sport, 50 and 0, and he's doing fights with YouTubers. I mean, John Ferry said it best, mate. You've done enough about making this sport a mockery. I mean, let's not do it anymore. Like, I'm a MMA fan hardcore, but I like to watch the odd boxing match. And when these fights are happening, like, I don't agree with it. Like, the weights are miles apart.
At all.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever. Like, it's gonna get millions of buys. Like, it's gonna fair enough. Like, it's happening, but Floyd Mayweather shouldn't be going in there and entertaining it. Like,
no way. You won't see Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury saying, you know what, we'll take him on. You know what I mean? Like, you won't see that here. You won't see KSI going up against that. I don't know. Like,
if I was Floyd Mayweather, I'd be like, yeah, we're not going to fight because it's going to make too much of a mess with boxing and it's going to upset the boxing community and stuff like that. But we'll do a spar for your YouTube. We'll do a little spar for your YouTube channel and you can
training.
That would get views, mate. That would get views.
100%.
Like, doesn't
Because he'd clickbait it as well, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. He'd be like, my fight with Floyd Mayweather, like, it'd be
exactly.
something like that.
And listen, like Floyd is never going to lose to Logan Paul in a million years ever. I would put everything on that. Like, he will never lose to Logan Paul in boxing. Never.
No way. I would honestly, and I mean this, be shocked if Floyd. It's never going to happen. But if he got knocked out, I don't know what I could do.
It would break the world. It would break the world if he got knocked out.
It actually would. Like, we're talking a guy who's won everyone, literally everyone, hasn't he? Like, in his way, he's beat everyone. What more does he have to prove?
And everyone says, "Oh, if Logan clashes Mayweather, then it's over." Then it's not over because Canelo hits like a truck. He hits like a guy who weighs Logan Paul's, and he hit Mayweather. Mayweather's got a chin. Like, everyone says, "Oh, Mayweather's chinny." He is not chinny. He can take a whack. Like,
or he runs away and that. Like, it's just his defense, isn't it? He can't. It's just his defense. It's impeccable, really.
Like Mike Tyson said it best. Like, he's gonna let Logan Paul hit him a little bit.
Dance.
Hit him. He'll let Logan Paul hit him a little bit to make the show, and then he'll knock him out and inside two. Like, he's not going to go with 10 rounds. He didn't cut McGregor with. He's not a legit combat sport athlete, and if he goes past 5, then Mayweather's then Logan Paul's the winner. If Logan Paul goes more than 5 rounds with Mayweather, then he is the winner, no doubt. I don't care if Mayweather knocks him out in a round after.
Isn't it?
But he's gone 5 rounds with the greatest boxer of all time, in my opinion. Rocky Marciano, probably not far behind, but he's one of the greatest of all time. He's gone 5 rounds with that. Logan Paul's the winner there.
Lost,
no doubt. This is a win-win for Logan Paul. He's gone in there with the balls.
Never lost a fight, and if he goes a couple of rounds with a YouTuber, like,
I know he's trying to make a show, but let's listen. F the show. Let's just show these YouTubers. Like, I respect Logan Paul. I respect him a lot because the way he's doing so. And I respect that he's doing this, and I love the hustle, getting the money off him, and that he's willing to step in and do this combat sport thing.
Smart players.
Lose brain cells. He's losing brain cells training for this. Like, there's no doubt when you're boxing, you're losing brain cells. Like, he's putting his life in this. He's taking head trauma. Like, fair enough. I'm not going to knock him. Logan Paul's a boxer. I'm not going to say he's not a boxer. Like, he's a boxer. He's training hard. He's like, I would say he's probably
against KSI, wasn't it?
I would say he's probably a very average pro boxer at best. And I say he's a pro boxer because he's training every day with world class coaches and world class fighters. And you're gonna be at that level when you're doing that every day. That's just the way it is. Like, if I started training with the likes of Khabib and Nurmagomedov every day, and I'm working with his coaches, then I'm gonna be not at his level, but
you'd be good, yeah.
I'm gonna be sort of get that to that top amateur level sort of thing. And that's the way where Logan Paul
you'd be good, wouldn't you?
That's what I mean. But that's where Logan Paul's at now, where I'm not going to say he's not a boxer. He is a boxer. Like, he's a boxer. There's no doubt about it. He would knock out a lot of amateur boxers, I know. There's no doubt about it. That he's a good boxer. But he's not a good pro boxer, and he wouldn't beat any pros, like any decent pros.
No way.
Like, not even top 15 pros. He wouldn't even beat anyone outside of that. Like, even top 50 pros, I wouldn't say he'd beat anyone in that category. Like, not to be offended, but he's an average pro. Like, he could beat some average pros, like, I think I would say. So listen, I'm not a huge fan of the celebrity boxing thing, but as long as they stay in the lane, that sort of thing, I get it. Like, but Logan Paul's
I know what you mean. Yeah,
fighting a boxer here. Like, he's an average sort of boxer. Logan Paul, average pro, like I've just said. He's fighting a guy, Mayweather, who's going to play with him for a little bit. But Mayweather needs to show him now that I'm the best in the world. You're not going 5 rounds with the best in the world. He has to prove that
he's 50-0. Like, he has to prove that he's the man in that fight. Like, he has to show, like, I'm 50-0. I'm one of the greatest of all time. I've done this for the money only. I'm just going to have to tell you where you're really.
He either makes him look like a twat for 12 rounds, not even letting him hit a shot on it. Makes him like a twat. 10-8 rounds every round. Otherwise, he needs to knock him out inside 2. I would say get a body shot. I think he'll get him with a body shot. I don't think he'll knock him out with headshots because, like, he's only 50 pounds left than him. He's not going to knock him out with headshots.
But plays like
body shots, like, no matter how heavy you weigh, they hurt, man. Like, when I'm training, like, I'm training with this young. We just had this at my gym. We had this Muay Thai affiliation with Outcast, and we got this little kid. He's how old is he?
Oh yeah, you said this.
He's like 11. He's a Muay Thai world champion, like 8 or 9 time world champion in Muay Thai. And we're doing like little tech spars the other day, Muay Thai, and I'm sparring with him. Just a little short tech spar for like 3 minutes. And I'm sucking up because I know how good he is. I'm not messing him. I'm not taking it. It's because this is 12. I know this kid could probably knock me out or something if he wanted to in Muay Thai. And like, he hits me with a couple of body shots, and he may less, and they weigh like 60, 70 pounds heavier than him. Yeah. They hurt. They hurt, no doubt about it. That they hurt. Like, there's no getting around it. Like, that will if he hits like, Logan Paul with a body shot, that will hurt Logan Paul.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, no matter what training you've done around, that's gonna hurt him. No matter what, it's Floyd Mayweather. Any, well, like you've just said, any body shot can hurt. Like,
Well, when people ask me,
painful.
will I watch it? Yes, I'll watch it. Will I pay for it? No.
I'm not paying for that. I've not paid for a single YouTuber fight. Nor will I ever pay for.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think probably my mate Jack will watch it, so I'll probably watch it with him or something. But I think like,
oh yeah,
or I'll watch like there probably will be like YouTube streams and stuff that I probably will watch it on or something.
Definitely.
Just you're gonna a lot of people are gonna watch it on stream. But
yeah, a lot of people aren't gonna pay for it.
But there will be things I'll watch it on, so I will watch it. Yeah, no doubts about it. I'm not gonna be invested in it. No, not at all, because I know what's gonna happen. Like maybe there's an podium. There's no doubt Logan Paul beats him. I'm not going to even suggest that he'll land a shot on him, to be honest with you.
I know, yeah.
Like, people forget he fought Canelo. Canelo better. I bet if they did a test of who hits harder, Canelo or Logan Paul, Canelo would win.
Canelo's an animal, isn't it?
Canelo hits hard, mate. Canelo trains with like heavyweights.
Canelo's an animal.
Another one. We mentioned it earlier. Jake Paul. Calling out Conor McGregor. Now, here's what Logan Paul doesn't do. Logan Paul doesn't go out there challenging MMA fighters.
Yeah.
And stays in his lane, so at least he's trying to get boxing bouts against, like, at least fighting Mayweather, really a pro boxer, so that's fair enough.
Jake Paul wants to fight UFC. He wants to fight boxing against UFC fighters. What if they want to fight UFC against him?
He knows he never do that because he get killed. That's the problem.
He get hammered. Yeah, he get hammered.
That's where he's annoying me, because he's not annoying me, but he's making a dangerous situation for himself here, where he's messing with the wrong sort of people. Because
UFC don't piss about, do they? They'll go to your house on that UFC fight.
People forget these MMA fighters are fighters first before the showman and entertainment. They're fighters first.
Street fighting.
They got into this fighting. Like, when he's talking shit to Conor McGregor, a guy who travelled across a country, across the world to get Khabib because he's messed with his teammate and threw a dolly through a bus. Like, he's messing with the wrong guy there, because McGregor's got security guards. And I hear Logan Paul say something, well, if McGregor shows up to Jake Paul, then Jake Paul's got guys that do things to McGregor and they get locked away. They get locked up because they do stupid shit for Jake Paul. Well, you do realize that McGregor's got security guards who have guns on hand. So if anyone tried to pull shit Conor McGregor, they would put them away. Like, so
UFC is like different, innit? Like, you can smoke weed and that. Like, these guys, like, they don't piss about you. You're going after them, they're going to come at you. Like, I'd be scared. Especially
Nick Diaz, who always, where Jake Paul is, I can't remember where he lives now, but Jake Paul's always clubbing. And so Nick Diaz is always clubbing around where Jake Paul is. And if Nick Diaz sees Jake Paul, he will whoop his ass after what he said to his brother Nate. He'll whoop his ass. Like, Nick Diaz is not 100%. That sort of guy. Like, he's not.
I wouldn't piss about when Nate Diaz. Diaz is
like, both of them will whoop his ass, and they won't care. Like, and it's the same thing with Dylan Dennis, who's messing with Dylan Dennis. Maybe like the hated and he was trolled on and stuff, but his stand up maybe slept on. But listen, he's a jiu-jitsu badass. Like, he is like a world champion in jiu-jitsu, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys there is in MMA. And he's messing with, and Jake Paul is messing with him. Like, imagine if that truck wouldn't have driven off when they threw that toilet paper at Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis would have broken Jake Paul's arm.
Did you hear what he said? His excuse, Jake Paul. Did you hear it?
Yeah, drive. It's not a drive.
He said, "Why would I fight when I can get paid to fight?" It's just such a poor excuse. He didn't want a street fight.
Yeah, he's calling him a pussy.
He'd get destroyed.
He's calling him a pussy, but he's driving off when he's shouting. I mean, I get why he has, because he'll get absolutely whooped by MMA guys.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, listen, it's smart from him to go after the MMA guys who aren't boxers, who've got names, he's got a chance against. But if he's prodding at Conor McGregor, it's not going to happen.
Conor's going to buy him. And Conor's going to buy back.
Like, even not Conor McGregor himself, but Conor McGregor's got teammates who would do shit for him. Like, they would do stuff just for Conor, because, like, he's trained with them, he's come up with them, and they're boys at the end of the day. They would go out and get Jake Paul themselves, like his teammates.
I don't know if this is true, but I've seen a video somewhere. Didn't Conor have, like, connections to the Irish mob on that? Like, didn't he have connections to the... Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the messing, these MMA fighters, you don't want to mess about with them. They're like you said, the fighters grow up on the street, they'll fight for everything. They've got connections everywhere. Like, Jake Paul needs to be careful. Like, say he's out somewhere one night, like, he could get hurt seriously.
Like, I'm interested to see what Conor McGregor says when he's asked about it, because he's obviously fighting in how many days is it? 11.
Yeah, his return
My
again.
bad maths. 14 maths, I think. 14 days. Probably my terrible maths. Yeah, 14 days. When this podcast will be out, it'll probably be like 13 or 12, but 14 days. So he's going to do a lot of interviews in that time, and there's no doubt he will be asked about it because it's a big story.
100%.
I'm very, very interested to see what he will say. Like, I know what Conor was like. I'm really interested. It's going to be the highlight of my thing of what he's going to say. Because
he's not as what he used to be, though, is he? He's not as what he used to be. He's matured a lot now.
He's a lot more mature and laid back.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see.
But he'll still say something funny like he always does, especially to a YouTuber who wants to fight him.
Just on that, then finally, I was just speaking about Conor McGregor. He's fighting in 14 days. Dustin Poirier, the rematch. The guy he's already beat. Dustin Poirier's been on such a tear since
I've seen that, yeah.
10-2. He's been amazing, Dustin Poirier. Like,
I watched the video of that, and he looks insane. Like, I seen the fight when McGregor obviously won him, and now like everyone's talking about how he's redeemed him. He's on a redemption. Like, he looks impressive, and McGregor's obviously coming back. So it'd be a good rematch.
Like, Dustin Poirier's only lost in the last in the last couple of years. Last couple of years he hasn't lost. He lost to Michael Johnson about 3 or 4 years ago. It's only lost in the UFC was in the last 2 years. It's to Khabib. Dustin Poirier. He's been winning everybody else, knocking out everybody else, man. Like, everyone loses to Khabib. He's beat Max Holloway, who was a featherweight champion just under 6 months ago.
Oh wow!
Anthony Pettis, former champ. Eddie Alvarez, former champ, twice.
Eddie.
And he beat Dan Hooker, who's on the card as well, last time out. So, he is on a tear, Dustin Poirier, and this is a tough fight for Conor.
Redemption, isn't it?
Everyone's saying,
it will be like, it's not going to be like Cerrone, like where he just like knocked him out and he dominated him.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because we haven't seen much of Conor. We only seen 40 seconds of him. And since then, we've only seen the Khabib fight. So it's interesting to see what level is at. Everything's going to be a walkover for Conor, but I disagree. I think it's going to be a tough fight for him.
Nah, from when I saw them clips, like that guy, he doesn't look like he's going to be pushed over easy by Conor. Like, I think that's going to be an interesting fight. I don't know much, but like when I saw that promo, I was like, "Yo, this guy looks like he could give Conor a challenge." Yeah.
The only thing that worries me about Dustin Poirier is his defense. Like, he's got a good defense, but he takes too many shots, and he's a bit like Eddie Alvarez in that sense. Where he obviously got better striking than Eddie Alvarez, but he takes too many shots defensively. Where if you watch his fight against Dan Hooker, he got an absolute brawl with him. And I'm hoping he plays a bit of a smarter fight against Conor, because if Conor hits you and you're taking all them shots, he will knock you out. Like, he's just like
100%.
And he's a sniper with his boxing, and that's where I'm worried about where Dustin's going to win the fight, because I think he's going to mix it in with some takedowns, some clinch work, some against the fence. He's going to make it gritty. He can't get in there and try and play the kickboxing, boxing.
We know, from what I've seen people say Conor he hasn't got the best endurance because he always goes for the early knockouts. So like you've just said, if he goes for the grappling game, surely but we haven't seen Conor since Khabib fight, like you've just said. So has he improved his endurance? Like, will he be better?
Yeah, it'd be interesting because I think Conor's grappling's a lot very slept on, and his wrestling slept on. So I think it won't be easy to get him down. I don't think he probably will get him down. It's just try and tire him out with relentless shots. So I do think that Conor will keep on the feet, and I think my prediction is he probably will knock Dustin Poirier out. I love Dustin. He's probably my favourite fighter, even more than Conor.
Oh wow, really?
But I just think Dustin gets hit too much, and it's just.
And Conor's a heavy hitter, isn't it?
Yeah, Conor hits hard, man. He's precise with his shot. So when you're letting him get hit that much, then he will put you away. And I think that's what you will see. So I'm hoping, like, Dustin Poirier, smart as a defense, tries to mix up a little bit, but I'm not sure how it's going to go.
Can't see it.
What about you? What do you think?
I don't know much about him, but, like, obviously, I like Conor. He's one of my favourite people ever, just for his ego and just for how he used to be. He was amazing to watch. I think Conor will knock him out because when I watched him versus Cowboy, like, he just ended him quickly, didn't he? But I think Conor's different now. I think he's older. He's a bit more wise. He's going to play it a bit smarter, and he's going to try for the knockout. I don't know what round, but I think he'll win.
Definitely, for sure, mate. Well, I've enjoyed this, mate. We've covered a lot of topics here. Logan Paul, Mayweather, Cobra Kai, lockdown. There's been a lot of Conor McGregor, obviously, Jake Paul. So, and listen, there's plenty more to talk about as well. We haven't got time today, but there's plenty more to talk about next week and stuff like that. And I'm sure there'll be more news coming out of America next week as well.
Definitely.
With Donald Trump. And there'll be more, I think, as the weeks go on with Conor McGregor and Jake Paul. So the developments will come from that. And I think you'll see more theories as well for Cobra Kai season 4 to talk about if we get time. So, yeah, Joe, it's good to have you back. Good to have you as the new co-host, my friend. And look out for your shows as well, I would say, because you also got some more basketball players we'll be interviewing in the coming weeks as well. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you for that. Appreciate it. It's back with a bang, episode 7.